when an opponent gets caught looking ahead instead of what they have this week, and as far as the opponent, maybe less quality, you see it all the time in the NFL and college football. They lose to a team that they're not concerned about, especially in the college football world. But when you get caught looking ahead and there's a big matchup next week, you're going to get caught. And what just happened? Maybe the best game in 2025, maybe later in the year is also, but it's going to be in the conversations. But Florida State versus Virginia. I mean, Florida State, let's be honest, they got caught looking ahead. Nobody was thinking that Virginia will put up a fight. Yeah, during the week, in a Friday or Thursday night game, prime time, everybody's looking at you. Sometimes crazy things can happen during the week. A lot of upsets, especially in 2007, 2008, through middle 2010s, you see a lot of upsets during the week. And time to time, it happened the last few years. But actually, what happened, Florida State got caught during the week. It was a short week, but also they played to their opponent. There's a lot of college teams that play down to their opponent, or they play up to their opponent and surprise somebody. Well, what happened? Florida State played to their opponent, and Virginia played up to their opponent, and Virginia beat Florida State. I mean, in a good game. And it was back and forth. Not really a good defense. It was a lot of turnovers, too. There was a lack of defense and good defensive plays, like interceptions everywhere, fumbles. Some were caused mistakes by Florida State. But every time someone turns over the football, someone got points. It was capitalizing the whole game. But Florida State clearly played down to their opponent. But also, they didn't really flex their muscle of physicality like they did in the first game versus Alabama. I think Alabama's a really good team, maybe. Maybe they flexed their muscle and maybe they got caught off guard. Alabama got caught off guard and didn't flex their muscle, but Florida State did. And it rubbed off in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And now they really killed the hype. Maybe Florida State's overhyped. I know they're not bad as they were last year. They're not going to go 0-12 kind of stuff or 2-10 kind of year last year. But I think they were be like a 8-4. But they are not unbeatable. I mean, they are not unbeatable. Okay, they are very beatable. I thought they were an 8-4 team, but they're not that Kirby Smart Georgia or old Nick Saban Bama that can really don't have to worry about the teams, but they can sneak up once in a while and bite them, and they recover and dominate for the rest of the year. They don't do that. This team is not built that way, and there's a lot of hype around Florida State since that Bama win, and I think a lot of people forgot what this team capabilities really are, and they played down to their opponent a lot. And one of these cases, Florida State did do that. And they barely got to the Virginia quarterback, not really pressure all night. Bad defense, except for the turnovers. But it seems like Miami would probably tear up Florida State. And looking ahead, we're not sure what can go wrong for Florida State. They could be ended up 9-3, 10-2, but most likely 11-1 if you base it on their schedule. But they could be easily 9-3 or 8-4 with those losses that come in unexpectedly. But who knows? It's early in the season. It's not even halfway yet. And looking ahead, they got 2 or 3 opponents that could beat Florida State unexpectedly like they did in this game. Especially that atrocious defense. They did not show the same physicality in the first 3 weeks because Virginia actually has a good dual threat quarterback. I mean, he was really, really good. That matched Tommy Castellanos. So that could be an issue for Florida State later in the year. But maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it won't happen again. Maybe it was just a slip up. But this is a prime example what happens when you overlook a team getting caught looking ahead. Just like Nick Saban says about rat poison. And Florida State bought into the overhype and ate the rat